We come on the air tonight with a breaking news alert out of Barron County. A press conference is scheduled to start any moment now following the killing of 2 police officers over the weekend. Now, earlier today, we learned their names. Officer Emily Breidenbach of the Chetek Police Department and Officer Hunter Scheel of the Cameron Police Department. We also learned the shooter's name. Now, we are being told that this news conference will not be about discussing the incident that happened over the weekend, rather than to thank the community and for their support. We're going to turn to Barron County for an update now.
All right. Thank you for coming this afternoon. On behalf of the Cameron Police Department and Chief Adam Steffen, the Chetek Police Department and Chief Ron Ambrositis, we want to thank everyone for their support. Cameron Officer Hunter Scheel was 23 years old and served the Cameron Police Department for 1 year and also served 6 years in the Army National Guard. Chief Adam Steffen will have a brief statement.
Thank you, Chris. First and foremost, I appreciate everyone being here. My name is Chief Adam Steffen with the Cameron Police Department. The deaths of Officer Hunter Scheel and Officer Emily Breidenbach has been tragic, to say the least. In addition to changing the lives of their families and friends forever, this event has touched me, my department, local law enforcement, and law enforcement around the world. It has also made a direct impact on our community. Through this unfortunate series of events, I understand the community is also grieving. I ask that you respect the privacy of our officers, but more importantly, the families and friends of Hunter and Emily. I want to thank everyone for your generous donations, words of affirmation, and most of all, your continued support as we struggle to get through this. We will get through this. We are in the process of setting up an account for monetary donations, and I expect to have the information for you on our Facebook page within the next day. I will not be answering any further questions. Thank you.
Emily Breidenbach was 32 years old and served the Chetek Police Department for 4 years and the Stoughton Police Department in Dane County for 9 months prior to coming to Chetek. Chief Ron Ambrositis will have a brief statement.
My name is Chief Ron Ambrositis with the Chetek Police Department. I want to start by thanking the residents of Barron County for the support they've shown my department. The amount of support has been very overwhelming. Thank you. I also want to ask the public to give my department time to grieve and to have time with their families. Chetek Department will be back, and we will pull through this, and we will be Emily strong. Thank you.
Our prayers go out to the families of Hunter and Emily. Our thanks go out to everyone who stepped up and helped law enforcement for their support and prayers. From the blue ribbons, the blue lights, flowers, and hugs, we needed it. They need it. Our law enforcement community needed it. From the EMS, the fire, and the law enforcement support has been overwhelming. We couldn't do it with all of us working together. So we thank everyone for their support. DA Brian Wright will have a brief statement about how DCI handles this and where it goes from here.
I want to thank the Division of Criminal Investigations. They arrived promptly. By Saturday evening, they were set up and began their investigation. The DCI investigation is going to take approximately 30 days, at which point they will be sending a report to my office, and then the District Attorney's Office will be preparing a report that will be made public after my review of the investigative report. So I would anticipate that that's probably going to be about 30 to 45 days at most. I can tell you these are 2 outstanding officers, and they deserve nothing more than this report that's going to be coming from the DA's office being done in an expedited manner. I think that's the least that we can do for the families of both officers and certainly for the community as a whole. So we'll have that report done as soon as we receive the investigative report in an expedited way. That'll be about 30 to 45 days.
Thank you, DA Wright. Some community events taking part that I want to announce. There will be a community vigil on Wednesday night, April 12th at 7 p.m. at Mosaic in Cameron. All community members are welcome to attend. This is put on by our Law Enforcement Foundation of Barron County. Official Facebook or financial donations and GoFundMe pages will be out at a later date, as Chief Steffen said. You can check the Chetek and Cameron Facebook pages, and we will share them on the Barron County Facebook page also, and we will get that out to the media. These are the only official sites you should give funds to, and these funds that the two departments have set up and the local banks that are set up are funds directly going to the family. And again, these are the only funds that we'd ask you to give to, sites that we'd ask you to give to. Funeral plans are in the works. We are assisted by the Roush Steele Funeral Home and the Roush Lundeen Funeral Home. Those funeral arrangements we think will be set in stone late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and we will have an announcement sometime Tuesday afternoon with funeral arrangements. At 5:30 today, we will be escorting officers back to the funeral home here in Barron, and we will have honor watch over them until the funeral. An officer has never left their side since the time of the event and never will until they are buried in the cemetery. We'll have a media staging area at that event at approximately 5:30. Again, they will be coming back in on Highway 8. That is across from the Quick Trip here in Barron at the Roush Steele Funeral Home. There's some great pictures of the officers out there. That's how we want them to be remembered. From Emily dancing in the football stands to Hunter at National Night Out with kids playing in the squad. This is why we do what we do here in Barron County. There is bad in the world. There's too much bad in the world. And I'm thankful for officers like Hunter and like Emily and all of the law enforcement in Barron County. It's tragic. It's terrible. We shouldn't have to be here and talk about this. But we have to, time and time again, across this country. We've had tragic events here in Barron County. Nothing like this. You guys have been here before, and we'll get through this. As both chiefs have stated, we do ask for your patience. We appreciate your patience. We ask for your support in getting that information out on fundraisers and the vigil, and to help this community heal with our officers. We only heal as one, and we need everybody to take part in that. Thank you again to our community, to our supporters, to our friends, to our families, and again, our law enforcement community needs this, needs you. This is going to conclude. We'll be able to take some brief questions, but not about the case. DCI is handling that. We have no further details on the case besides what was released at 2 p.m. On the case. So if there's any other questions we can answer, I will try to answer them.
Sheriff Paul Bloom, Fox 9. Just wonder if you could elaborate a little bit on the close, the tightness that we're talking about. Was it two towns 10 miles apart? In the metro, that might be one thing, but out here, your sheriff deputies, I'm assuming sheriff, I've seen you in a couple photos with them, so you knew them. How tight is this? How tight is this law enforcement
They're
community?
very small communities, very small departments. We work together as a team, as one. It's very tragic, and both Chetek and Cameron work very closely because of their distance, because our deputies might be on one side of the county. They back each other up on a daily basis, and so it's really one department, and they're just have a different patch on their shoulder, but we're all one law enforcement officer, and they work very closely together. And I think that's a very good point, that besides being from very small communities, we're very small departments, even the sheriff's department, and we work together as a team on all of our calls, and it's taken its toll on their departments. We're covering our sheriff's department, along with other local law enforcement agencies, are covering their areas, so their deputy or their officers have time to heal together, and I think that's very important to do. Other questions or comments? Yes.
Hi, Audrey Corey with the Chippewa Herald and La Crosse Tribune. I'm just wondering where this leaves the two departments in terms of staffing. since they are so small?
They'll manage, they'll cover, but it does hurt, and not only in that way, but in future staffings. But they will manage, they'll get through that, and we'll be there together to help them with that.
Sheriff, do you know anything about the procession this evening, what roads are going to be used?
Sure. Thank you for that. We're gonna most of the officers you'll see pick up the procession in Turtle Lake, and they will proceed right down Highway 8 from Turtle Lake to Barron. We'll turn right at the funeral home, and we have a street blocked off for law enforcement officers, and there will be a media staging area directly across. I think that might be 3rd Street. I don't know the name of the street. Sorry. So.
I'm wondering how rare this is. I mean, do you know the last time an officer was killed in the line of duty in Barron County?
I don't know that I. Well, that was in Russ County. We lost a Rice Lake officer back in 1996. He was a Rice Lake police officer, but that shooting took place in Russ County, so that would be the last shooting in this area. So this is. None of us have dealt with that. We've gone back and forth on that as chiefs and sheriffs, and this is nothing a chief and sheriff should have to go through. And again, we can't heal without our community and our supporters, and so we just thank them for that.
I understand that Emily was the canine handler for her department. Is there any word on if the canine Grizz was with her or otherwise involved, or can you speak on that today?
I can do that. Yeah, Canine Grizz was with. Canine Grizz is not it's a therapy dog. It wasn't a canine. It was a canine therapy dog for the Chetek Police Department. Had been in service in the last year, right? Within the last year that dog had been in service. The dog was with. The dog wasn't hurt. The dog is in the Chetek Police Department's hands. Thank you for that. All right. Well, thank you. We'll see everybody at 5:30 at the thing. Thank you for attending. Thank you for doing everything you do.
Thank you, Sheriff.
God bless you guys.
Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald there wrapping up that news conference. Obviously, an emotional, difficult time for everyone there. If you're just joining us, a breaking news update out of Barron County today. We did learn the identities of the officers who were killed over the weekend, as well as the shooter's identity. Still a lot of unanswered questions, like what exactly led up to the shooting and the motive behind it. We will be back with more coverage at 5 o'clock.